Nothing cuts deeper in professional sports than watching a former ally join your biggest enemy, and then having to face them on the field where loyalties are tested and emotions run wild. When Ben Johnson made the controversial decision to leave his role as Detroit's offensive coordinator to become head coach of their NFC North rival, Chicago Bears, he ignited a firestorm that would eventually explode into one of the most emotionally charged games of the NFL season. But here's where it gets personal. The Lions didn't just want to win when Johnson returned to Detroit for the first time. They wanted to send a message that would echo throughout the entire league. The result? A devastating 52-21 demolition that left Johnson's new team in shambles and raised serious questions about loyalty, revenge, and how far teams should go to prove a point. For those unfamiliar with the backstory, Johnson had been the mastermind behind Detroit's explosive offensive transformation. He helped turn the Lions from perennial underachievers into legitimate contenders, making his departure to coach a division rival feel like the ultimate act of betrayal to players who had bought into his system and trusted his leadership. Lions defensive back Brian Branch didn't mince words when describing the team's emotional state heading into the matchup. The young defender revealed that the entire organization, from coaching staff to players, felt deeply wounded by Johnson's decision to join Chicago. Very motivated, Branch explained with visible intensity, "We knew coming into this game that this is personal. Really, all these games are personal. But this one, we felt like we'd been betrayed, from the staff to players. And we love Ben. We still love Ben. He's a great coach. He's a great mastermind. But yeah, it was time to get after him." This raw honesty provides a rare glimpse into the emotional undercurrents that drive professional athletes beyond simple wins and losses. But here's where the controversy really begins. Did the Lions take their revenge too far? Detroit's offensive explosion was nothing short of spectacular, accumulating 511 total yards at an eye-popping 8.8 yards per play. To put this in perspective for casual fans, that's nearly 2 first downs earned with every single offensive play, a level of dominance that's almost unheard of in professional football. Meanwhile, Johnson's Bears offense managed just 5.3 yards per play, a stark contrast that highlighted the gap between the two teams' preparation and execution. Adding insult to injury, Chicago turned the ball over twice, essentially gifting Detroit additional scoring opportunities. But the moment that sparked the biggest debate came late in the fourth quarter. Leading 45-21 with less than 8 minutes remaining, a margin that had already established the game's outcome beyond any reasonable doubt, the Lions faced a 4th and goal situation. In what many considered an act of pure aggression, Detroit chose to keep their starting offense on the field rather than settle for a field goal or punt. Quarterback Jared Goff proceeded to find wide receiver Amon-Ra St. for his 3rd touchdown reception of the day, pushing the score to an even more lopsided 52-21. This decision immediately raised eyebrows across the football world and led to uncomfortable questions about sportsmanship versus sending a message. When confronted about whether his former team was deliberately running up the score, Johnson displayed remarkable composure and professionalism. His response revealed both his understanding of Detroit's aggressive mentality and his refusal to criticize the organization that had given him his start in the NFL. "What's he supposed to do?" Johnson said with a measured tone. "It's 4th and goal. What do you want him to do? He could have kicked the field goal. They don't kick field goals. They go for it there." He was doing what he was supposed to do. That's what he does. And this is the part most people miss. Johnson's defense of his former team's actions speaks to a complex dynamic that exists when coaches change teams within the same division. While the Lions players felt betrayed, Johnson understood their competitive nature and refused to play the victim card. Even when faced with what many observers considered an unnecessarily aggressive approach to a game that was already decided, This entire situation raises fascinating questions about loyalty, professionalism, and the unwritten rules of competition. Should players be expected to separate personal feelings from professional obligations? Was Detroit's aggressive approach justified, given the emotional circumstances? Or did they cross a line that violates the spirit of fair play? As Johnson prepares for his next challenge, seeking his first victory as Chicago's head coach against the Dallas Cowboys at home, he faces the reality that his decision to switch sides in one of the NFL's most competitive divisions will continue to create dramatic storylines throughout the season. What do you think? Did the Lions go too far in their emotional response? Or was this simply the natural result of intense division rivalry? Should coaches be criticized for taking jobs with division rivals? Or is this just the business side of professional sports? Share your thoughts and let us know whether you believe there should be unwritten rules about running up the score in situations like this.